Hey, it's a very cloudy and overcast, quiet uh, December 31st, getting ready for New Year's Eve. Father Taylor here. If you're wondering why I'm wearing one of my best hats and this shirt, it's like, well, 2020 has not been easy, and we need to do just about all we can think of to try to say, hey, there's hope coming in 2021. Things are going to change. So first, let me do the announcements, which are pretty clear this week. We are back to our regular Sunday service. So at 9:45, we have our Sunday service, but this week, because it's the first Sunday of the month, we will have people in the building to pray for you. So there are many things to be prayed for. You do not have to have some kind of catastrophic illness, encouragement, to have somebody else pray with you for a friend, for hope for a new year, for all kinds of things. So if you would just like to have somebody who's an experienced prayer person, who is a part of our trustworthy and faithful, fully confidential prayer team, call in this Sunday for prayers. We get a fair amount of prayers, but I'm just thinking with the number of prayer requests I get that come in on Sunday, I think you should take more of advantage. Just go ahead and make that phone call. You can call right to the church office on Sunday. Also coming up, not that far away, that I want you to be thinking about is annual meeting. And annual meeting, I understand that it's basically a business meeting, and it's not the most thrilling meeting that you'll ever go to. There's, very seldom, like trapeze people and tight ropes, and there's not, like autographs from movie stars or something. But it's an important part of our church life. And this year it's particularly challenging because we will have to do it online. And so it'll be on a Zoom format. So we're kind of scrambling, and we have to get a quorum. But we also have some really big things to talk about, switching from 2020 to 2021. If you remember last year, and I doubt that you will, but if you remember, last year at annual meeting, we were really beginning to start a new strategy, basically, as a church. We were taking a look at how things had drastically changed since 2010. And 10 years, had made a drastic difference in our congregation. And so where was God's call? So we were working very hard on learning how to hear God speak to us. My personal conviction is that the scripture is very clear that God moves through people, and God has a specific kind of a role for a local congregation in a local town. This is kind of where it all happens, at the grassroots level. And so God doesn't speak simply to a priest or to three people on the vestry, but God speaks within the whole congregation. So as 2020 was beginning, we had done a variety of retreats. We had about 70 to 80 people from our congregation go through a mini retreat as we practice these skills of learning how to listen together. The vestry had worked on that. We were beginning to look at things like long-term goals for our property, and where are we going as a church. And then all of a sudden we were into COVID. There's a lot that's written in the Trinity Times, which is coming out, and you can read that online. I have asked a number of questions that I'd like you to reflect on and to actually answer. And I put those questions in the Trinity Times. And they're reflective questions that I think are really important for us, that I think we all need to be listening to and hearing about. So please take a look at the Trinity Times. And it's like one of those questions you got on a final exam at college. I wrote out five, I think it's 6 questions, and I said, please answer at least 3 of them. So we're trying to get some feedback and get us all thinking, not just in terms of surviving COVID, but where is God calling us as a church? Many of us have just, it's been very hard. I mean, which is why I'm just trying to be like, hey, just trying to shock you into a little bit of New Year's cheer. God's been very faithful to us, but it's been very hard. No doubt about that. There's no argument about that. And there's a kind of a tendency for some of us, even those of us who have been very active in the past, to go into what I call the COVID hibernation. First, there's the layer of, it's kind of like a low-lying depression and anxiety. And then there's like the long-term fatigue. And then we go into this thing where it's like we're hibernating, like that somehow when the coast is clear, we'll all come back and we'll snap our fingers and we'll all be back in church and things will be the same. Things will never be the same because the world has changed because of this disease. The culture around us continues to change. And so we're going to have to change. So that's why I'm encouraging you to, for 2021, even in January, to consider this. How can I come out of my church COVID hibernation and really start to go deeper with the Lord to find out where is God calling me and us as a church in 2021. But anyway, just some things to think about as we get ready to go. This will probably be as festive as the most festive moment I will enjoy on New Year's Eve. We do enjoy our 8 o'clock group. Many of you can be taking advantage of that. You don't have to pray out loud. You can even just show up and just listen and be a part of it and watch what happens. Many folks in the morning just leave their video off so that people can't see that they have bedhead or something. And in the evening, whatever. I'm just saying, find a way to participate. 8 o'clock is a great one. You can join us tonight if you like for our New Year's Eve prayers. All right. God bless you. And we are praying for our church, for our towns, and the whole world as we listen carefully to see what the Lord is saying to us and calling us to do. Okay, bye for now.